Aloha, Aquarius. Thank you so very much for being patient, waiting on your January 2025 astrological predictions. As promised, I'm here a day late, but I am here. We are going to take a look at the big picture of what's coming for January 2025 for you, Aquarius. We've got your birthday. Your birthday cycle is coming up very, very soon. So your solar return is going to be here before you know it. Directly in front of me, I have my personal ephemeris that I put in my planner. It's kind of hard to see because I utilize like all the little symbols and things like that for each of the planets. I also have some notes and some astrological charting up here. So let's get rolling. How are my delightful, innovative, incredibly powerful, and very unique Aquariuses? I am super happy to have you guys here today. So we are going to take a brief journey through what's going on planetary-wise, aspect and movement in January 2025 and how it might affect you. Please ignore the crying cat if he comes across on my microphone. He is a very needy little cat. He's my son's cat. So Aquarius, we start out the month with the sun in Capricorn. Now, Capricorn is in your 12th house. The 12th house is that house of introspection. It's a house where you kind of like want to be by yourself. You kind of want to go into your own thoughts and look at the future from your own perspective. It's a time to rest, recharge, and reflect on life ultimately. And I think it's good for you to kind of have this couple weeks of rest period for you, because Aquarius, your birthday time frame is coming up very soon, and that's going to be a great time for self-expression and really, allowing yourself to be seen for the incredibly powerful, wonderful people that you are. So take this time between now and the 19th of January to rest up, recharge. If you're interested in any kind of spiritual topics or esoteric topics, things like that, this is a good time to kind of dig deep into that. As well as if any of you have any, religious pursuits or anything of that nature, it would be a good time for you to look into that as well. But the 12th house is about healing. It's about spiritual growth. It's really about kind of, digging in deep into what your values are, what your belief system is, and things of that nature. So it favors meditation. It favors taking some time just to chill out, which you probably are going to need. Aquarius, we move into your first house of identity, self-expression, and personal goals on the 19th of January, beginning at 1500, which for those of you that don't use military time, that's 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And this is where you have the opportunity to sparkle and shine and to really let people see who you are and to allow your unique voice and your unique perspectives to be heard and seen. And it's a great time for you to transition from that reflective energy into one of empowerment. So moving into this energy of empowerment, we're going to see that there's some additional energies that are going to help lead you forward towards the end of the month, as well as some in the beginning of the month. Now, Aquarius, at the end of January, or the middle of middle of December, in the middle of December, Mercury went direct. And when Mercury went direct from its retrograde, there was still this lingering post-shadow energy. So any delays you may have felt as a result of Mercury retrograde, or any miscommunication you may have dealt with because of Mercury retrograde, by the time we hit the middle of January, all that energy should be nice and gone, nice and lifted, so that you can see movement again. So where was this delay energy for you with Mercury retrograde? It was in your 11th house, which is your social sector. It's your friendships, things of that nature. It is a house that involves networking, getting together with friends and family, connecting with those that are closest to you on a friendship level. And so there may have been some issues with regards to your communication and your connections with your social circle, or there just could have been a disconnect because everybody else was, everybody was doing their own thing during the Mercury retrograde. So you may have been feeling a little bit left out. Although you are a very independent sign, you also like to engage socially with others. And so we do see that towards the middle to the end of the month, you should have a nice, smooth sailing for the 11th house to be able to reconnect with friends, to be able to resolve any misunderstandings that may have occurred from November and December, and to really focus on both reconnecting with your community and your long-term goals. So this is great energy for you towards the middle and latter half of the month, because Mercury was in Sagittarius. Sagittarius rules over your 11th house. Towards the end of the month, on the 30th, Uranus goes direct in the sign of Taurus at 11:22 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And Taurus rules over your 4th house. This is your 4th house of home and family. This is the house where you may have been, kind of looking at your living situation while it was retrograde, reassessing where do you want to live, what would you like to do, what would you like to do to beautify your home, is there any changes you wish to make, do you wish to move to a new location, things of that nature. You also may have been navigating some family dynamics that were unexpected or could have, taken you back to old wounds and trauma that you needed to move past. Don't worry about anything that occurred as a result of Uranus retrograde, because once again, we have movement forward in this area of your life. So we see that there could be some unexpected solutions that come up with regards to your home and stability towards the end of the month. So that's really positive. All right, let's talk about the moon. The moon is going to be full on January the 13th in the sign of Cancer. So that will be on the 13th at 17:26. That's 5:26 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And this house, now I like this energy for you because one, you're going to be coming off the tail end of that reflective period with you having been under the influence of the sun in Capricorn, right? So you're coming off the tail end of that energy. By the time we hit the 13th, you still got about another week of that. And the full moon will be in your 6th house. Since it's in your 6th house, the 6th house is a really great energy to determine whether or not there's any need to change up your routines. Think work routines, health routines, gym routines, things of that nature. Your daily routines might undergo a little bit of a shakeup as you move into the 2-week period following the full moon in Cancer. So with the full moon in Cancer, the full moon brings change. They bring a sense of passion and drive. It can also bring a little bit of frustration when a full moon arrives. So you could find yourself being a little bit frustrated with maybe the past, how you've handled your habits before. And now after this time of reflection, you're looking at, okay, well, what can you do to make yourself stand out as you move into this Aquarius energy? And so there's going to be a need for you to prioritize self-care during this time, but also to prioritize looking at those routines to see whether or not any adjustments need to be made as you roll into your birthday time frame. The new moon in Aquarius, you're going to love that. New moon in Aquarius is occurring on the 29th at 07:35 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And the new moon in Aquarius focuses on your personal growth. The focus will be on you, Aquarius. Any creative projects you have coming up, they'll be in your mind space, and seeing how you can present that to the world and how you are going to show up to the world and be what you will be perceived as you're moving into this new moon period. Now, new moon period lasts for 28 days. So this is a great time if you want to, roll out some sort of creative project, anything related to your personal identity, your long-term plans, and how you wish to be perceived. That's going to be very favorable at the very end of the month and as you move into February. So, calling all artists, entertainers, musicians, etc. If you have a little bit of a creative flair and you want it to be seen, you want it to be heard, think end of January for rolling out new things, okay? Now let's talk about 3 mystical cosmic influences that will be occurring in the month of January. They occur always, but let's see where they're at now. Chiron, our wounded healer. Chiron is a royal pain in the arse. Let me tell you, Chiron will continue to bring some sort of life lesson at you over and over and over again, and time again, until you've learned that life lesson and then you can move through it. So Chiron is going to be in the sign of Aries for the month of January, and that activates your 3rd house of communication and learning, technology, social interaction, being seen socially. So this is a time when you're going to be forced to heal any old wounds tied to the very thing you're going to be focused on at the end of the month, tied to your self-expression and any misunderstandings that may have occurred from how you're being perceived by the world, right? So it's going to be very important for you to focus on clear and compassionate communication during this time frame, and to try to move past any old wounds associated with those things. Black Moon Lilith is our shadow energy. Black Moon Lilith is moving through the sign of Leo throughout the month of January, and that is in your 7th house of partnerships. This is the focus on your one-on-one connections with those that are closest to you. There's a strong possibility that this will bring up any fears and insecurities you may have, Aquarius, regarding your relationships that are closest to you. So that could be a romantic partnership. That could be a very close work partnership. That can be your best friend, things of that nature. So it's going to bring up some very powerful dynamics with regards to one-on-one relationships. And it could trigger some of these fears and some of these insecurities. And so you're going to really need to stand on your own truth and embrace your independence, but also do so in a way that allows you to heal from some of these old wounds that might surface. Vertex involves fated encounters. This is great. So Vertex is going to be where? In your sign. You got a lot going on in your sign, Aquarius. This is great. So Vertex is going to be in your sign, which Vertex brings about karmic moments, karmic opportunities, karmic connections. These can be things that are positive or negative, but that they are brought up in order to give you a potential opportunity on your destined path. So you may see some synchronicities. You may have a chance encounter with somebody who could open a door for you, things of that nature. This is going to be tied to your personal identity and your self-growth, because once again, we're in that 1st house. So pay attention to any chance encounters or opportunities that might feel destined to be. They'll guide you towards a greater sense of authenticity. So that's positive for you. Let's take a look at the chart. The charts. Dun, dun, dun. Let's see. January the 13th, the sun trines Uranus. This is great. So Uranus is your ruler, your ruling planet, and Uranus is about freedom and rebellion. And that's why you guys like to be the outliers. That's why you like to be the one who thinks outside the box. A lot of scientists tend to be Aquarians as well. And so this is a beautiful aspect because it sort of enhances that creativity that we were talking about, right? The things that are going to come up with that full moon in Cancer. And it's going to give you that opportunity to think outside the box with regards to creativity, to find a way to bring about breakthroughs and innovative ideas. And so this is where Aquarius, around the 13th, the time of the full moon, where you're really going to need to trust your instincts and pursue new approaches in your personal and professional matters, especially with those that we were talking about that will help your unique perspective to shine. So super, super important for you. 13th, full moon, important time for Aquarius. We talked about the sun moving into Aquarius on January 19th. Happy, happy, happy birthday, Aquariuses. It's going to bring increased confidence, which is excellent. Let's see what else we've got. The 23rd of January, Mercury trines Uranus. This is also supportive of those ideas regarding moving forward in some sort of, some of you in the public eye. So this particular energy could bring more innovative ideas for you. It could sharpen your problem solving skills. So if you run into a roadblock, it would be a really great time for you to kind of look at that and find a way forward. Expect insights that will lead to exciting breakthroughs for you towards the end of the month. I see the end of the month as being very good for Aquarius. You're going to need to trust your originality. Let's go with that. Your individuality and originality will lead the way for you at the end of the month. Great time for intellectual pursuits, creative projects, that sort of thing. 25th of January, Venus trines Mars. So this is a really good aspect between Venus and Mars because it's going to boost your self-confidence, boost your charisma. It'll be a great time for socializing and romantic pursuits, especially when we have that 7th house energy that's kind of like helping you to reinvestigate some things that might need to change and might need to be healed within the romantic sector, especially those one-on-one relationships. So romantic pursuits will be favored. Relationships will thrive under the energy of the end of the month. So it's important for you to take advantage of that energy on the 25th of January. The 26th of January, Venus will be very, very playful because it will be sextiling Uranus. So it'll be a great playful and unexpected energy in your relationships as well as in your finances. There could be surprise opportunities come your way, and it could bring about a sense of renewal and joy for you. This is a good time for you to just be your spontaneous self, Aquarius. Be your spontaneous self in your interactions, and it's a good time for rekindling connections as well. January 26th, good time for rekindling. Let's see what else we got. Mercury moves into Aquarius on the 27th of January. More movement into your sign, Aquarius. How great is that? And this is going to sharpen your intellect. Because Mercury has to do with, thought, communication, telecommunication, things of that nature. So it could enhance your communication skills. It's a good time for brainstorming, networking, sharing ideas with the world. So Aquarius, like I said, those of you that are really trying to be seen in the public eye in some way, the end of the month is most favored for you. You'll be in your element. You'll be excelling in your conversations, your presentations, your problem solving skills. It's a really great energy for you at the end of the month. We already talked about Uranus going direct, so that's also positive. Sun trines Jupiter on January the 30th. So this is a very optimistic energy for aligning all your long-term goals with opportunity for growth, right? So all of these big picture ideas and these big ideas that are going to be kind of coming out for you at the end of the month, this is a good energy to kind of help propel that forward. So it's a good time for you to focus on your long-term aspirations and know that you have luck on your side, Aquarius. A bold move, which you're very good at doing, could move you towards success in February. So Aquarius, it looks like your main themes for January are personal growth, personal expression, innovation and breakthroughs, which are great for you, and perhaps rekindling a romance this month. So that looks good. Your magnetism is going to be very strong, and you'll have an opportunity to reconnect with your social circle after the 19th. So keep that in mind as well. All right, Aquarius, love and light, my darlings. Mahalo nui loa for joining me today, and I hope that you have a beautiful day. Kiss, kiss. I'll see you on your next video. Until then, ta-ta for now.